Hey, good morning, Raiders and Nobles. I want to thank you for allowing me to interrupt your morning meetings this morning to discuss late start for next year. I know that's an important topic, and it's important for all of us to know what the bell schedule is going to be like next year and what our meeting time is going to look like. So that's what we're here to explain. Um, so I want to begin by first explaining late start. To give you some background, our current contract language does not have anything written about late start in it. The contract that we have allows for after school meetings that have to be over by 4 o'clock, and there doesn't specify how many after school meetings can be conducted. So there's relatively little language about meeting time in the contract. So starting about 10 years ago at Nogales and a couple years ago after that at Roland, the staffs began annually approving a memorandum of understanding, which is an amendment to the contract, and it gets approved at each site through a 2/3 or supermajority vote, since it is an amendment to the contract. And what this MOU is and has done is it time banks 4 days or 1 day a week. So it makes that day shorter, and then we add that time to the other 4 days of the week. That is why the MOU is needed, because we don't have 5 equal days. Then on that earlier day, that day that we have less instructional time, we have meetings that take place in the morning. And in doing so, we have avoided having after school meetings to this point. So that's the situation we've been in, but the MOU was set to expire at the end of this year. So we fast forward to January 2018 as we were kind of getting wrapped up with bargaining, and we realized that we still had not come to an agreement on late start for the following year. The district had been clear during that process that the 45 minutes that we have been using was not sufficient to do the work that they felt we have to be doing as professionals. And the association felt that we didn't want to continue to add a creep of time to our day, so we wanted to push back against that as much as we could. Bargaining concluded in January without any agreement. What that would mean, though, is that we would fall back to the contract language, which allows for after school meetings. The association did make clear during bargaining that we wanted to let our members know that we support the current version of it. We were not against the current version of it. We were against extending the time to an hour meeting in the morning. So about a month and a half ago, our ARE board voted to send the MOU that we're using this year out to members for a vote, the current 45-minute late start. That was sent out. Both staffs approved that MOU. The problem is that an MOU takes both parties, and management was not involved in that discussion, and I want to be upfront about that. It was something that the association did without really communicating that with management. We wanted to get that out to a vote to our members so that they were clear that we were trying to defend or keep the current language that we have. But principals were not aware that that was happening. So that led to obviously some tense discussions between the two parties, and some ownership by the association of that process and what happened. But the parties did come together and say, okay, we need to continue this to see if we can get to something that both parties can actually sign off on, that both parties can agree to, both management and our members. So over the last month, we've had multiple conversations, and we believe now that we have reached a compromise that we believe is a choice that you guys are going to have to make as staff. So what it does is the current compromise on the MOU would keep the same language pretty much that we have now with the 45-minute meeting time in the morning, but it would then allow up to 4 additional staff meetings during the year. So we believe that that was the best compromise that we could reach to then take to our members for a vote. So you all will have the opportunity over the next 3 days to vote on this MOU that'll be in front of you. And if it is approved by 2/3 of the ballots casted, then you will have that MOU for the 2018-19 school year with that late start version. Again, it would be a 45-minute meetings that we have now, looking at really no change to the bell schedule, but then there'd be 4 scheduled meetings after school spread throughout the year. Now, I need to be clear that if this MOU does not get approved, that we do revert back to after-school faculty meetings. And it was a real interest of both the association and management that the staff have ownership in this vote now. This is your choice to make. It does require 2/3 of the staff to approve this change because it is a change from our current contract. But the association is satisfied, has been happy with the dialogue that took place over the last few weeks and the compromise that we feel is in front of you. So it is going to be your choice to make. I will be at Roland High School this afternoon in Jerry Crumb's classroom with lunch to take questions and answer any concerns people may have. And I will be at Nogales High School tomorrow at lunch to take questions and answer any questions that people might have. And then we will keep the ballots open in Jerry Crumb's room at Roland and Vanessa Ramirez's room at Nogales. We will keep those open until Wednesday after lunch. We'll count the ballots, and if there are 2/3 approval at the site, then it will be approved for that site. So again, I want to thank you for allowing me to interrupt part of your meeting this morning. The MOU will be distributed. It will, and then you can again return those ballots to Vanessa Ramirez's room at Nogales or Jerry Crumb's room at Roland before lunch on Wednesday. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.